Good morning, guys of grade 8. Today, inshallah, we're going to start the first session of quarter 4. So, we're still talking about the physical science. We're still working from the same book, but we're just going to pass to chapter 19, section 1, electric charges and electric forces. So, by the end of this lesson, we should be able to answer the following question: how do electrically charged objects interact? How can objects become electrically charged? And finally, what is the electric discharge? The new vocabulary which we're going to learn, which is static charge, electric insulator, electric conductor, polarized, and electric discharge. So let's start here, guys. The first thing. So just we remember or we recall something we studied before, that any atom is made up of subatomic units, which are neutron, protons, and electrons. Neutron are neutral; they carry no charge, while protons they are positive, and both are held together inside the nucleus, which represent the high density part at the center of the atom, while the small electrons, which are negatively charged, they keep rotating and moving around the nucleus. So like this, we find atom in normal situation, it's neutral. That means the number of positive protons equal the number of negative electrons. Okay. So here we find electrons, they are the part or they are the subatomic part that has the ability to move or flow from one atom to another, because protons actually are trapped inside the nucleus. They cannot leave the nucleus unless it will be a nuclear reaction, and that's too dangerous. So like these electrons only, they could pass from one atom to another. So whatever here, we said that once electrons could pass from one atom to another one, or from a substance to another substance, in that case, one substance will gain more electrons, and in that case, that will be negatively charged, while the one which is already lost or give or donate electrons, so they will lack for some electrons. So in that case, they will be positively charged. So once the substance already carry whatever negative or positive charge, it become a charged object, and we call this a charge which accumulates on the surface, static charge. So what is static charge? Again, it's the unbalanced negative or positive charge. That means the extra positive charge carried on an object, or extra negative charge that carried on an object, and this charge does not flow, so or do not flow. So we call this static charge. Once that object is could be charged, okay, in that case, we find that each object or discharge will have a region or an area surrounded to called the electric field. This electric field, that the area which surround a charged object in which the electric force could be applied, or there is a kind of interaction could happen between charged objects, happen in this area, which is the electric field. So we said that in electric field there is a kind of force called the electric force. This electric force could be attraction or repulsion. That means we could have, if we have two charged objects and these two charged objects are close enough from each other, in which their electric field could interact. So we could find this kind. There is a kind of electric force will show between these two objects. This electric force could be repulsion or attraction based on the type of the charge. So here we could find that opposite charges, okay, they could attract each other. That means the positive charged object could attract the negative charged object, while similar charge they repel each other. So negative charged object will repel another negative charged object, or a positive charged object will repel another positive charged object. So similarly, we could say a rule that opposite charges attract while similar charges repel. So here, like this kind of electric force, or this kind of repulsion or attraction between charged objects, the amount of this force actually depend on two factors. Okay, these two factors, first of all, the amount of charge, how many charges are carried on the two objects. For example, here, once you frict the hair come to your hair, okay, while you are combing your hair, so you could find, because of this friction, there is enough energy which allow electrons to pass from the plastic of the cup to the hair, okay, to your hair. So after a while, you're gonna find the cup is positively charged while your hair is negatively charged because of accumulation of some electrons on its surface. So as we both become static, or both carry static charge or become charged, there is a kind of interaction will happen between them. As the cup turn to be positively charged and your hair turn to be negatively charged, there is a kind of attraction force will arise between them. You could observe that the more cumping, the more friction you have, the more charges your hair will gain. So the more attraction force will happen. So the more charge the object carry, it means the more electric force will found between these two objects. So it could be more attraction, okay, in that case, as you could observe in the picture. The other factor that could affect is distance between the two charged objects, as you can see. The more distance between the object, the less attraction or the less kind of force between them, because they're already too far or somehow far from each other. So there is no that, or the interaction between the electric field of these two objects is not that much like once they are closer to each other. Because they are close to each other, you could observe that the electric field of your hair and the electric field of the comb, okay, they could be, okay, easily interact to each other, which form more or stronger attraction force or more or stronger electric force, as we can see here. So here like this, guys, we could find that, or we just need to answer what is the source of charge that is the subatomic particles, which means are the electrons and the protons, which is already found in any atom. We see that in normal situation, okay, the atom is neutral, but in some cases may some charge, some electrons pass from one object to another, which cause one object to be negatively charged and the other one to be positively charged. So once the object becomes charged, it has an electric field, an area in which it could show some kind of force, we call the electric force. This electric force could be repulsion or attraction based on the type of charged or charged on the charged object. And this electric force depends on two factors, which is the amount of charge and the distance between the charged object. So that's the part two of our lesson today. It's very easy. Just study it from your textbook, read it carefully, and if you have any question or something's not clear, you can ask next time. Thank you guys and goodbye.